A successfully flipped classroom has structures in place so students are able and motivated to acquire basic content outside of class. This can take many forms and most often involves use of the web to both deliver fundamental content and ensure that students engage with it.
Oh, I did it really low tech. So my starting point was I had a little document camera and my laptop on my kitchen table, and the night before class, before I was going to have to do the lecture, I just went and did the lecture anyway on my kitchen table.
While some teachers record their own lectures using webcams or screencasting software, many find that online resources already exist to serve their needs and instead put their time into organizing and curating this existing content for their students.
So it started out kind of easy, and then I started to realize all the things that you could do once you think about, okay, I've got all this stuff online. And that made me think a little bit more about what's the right design for this. I also got to worry that many students weren't actually watching the videos any more than they were reading a book. So just putting a bunch of stuff on the web is not a learning tool. It's a repository, but it's not a very good learning tool.
The most important advice is structure. To put into place as much structure as you can on a day-to-day basis. So if your course objectives are to get students engaged and participating and therefore prepared on a daily basis, then the assessment needs to match that. They need to have grades attached to that preparation.
The class platform allows me to create learning tutorials. So for each class session, the students would log into this little tutorial, and they would be asked to view a set of videos and answer a few questions. And the questions are not very advanced questions. If you get it right, you move on. If you don't, there's usually some extra guidance given on how to solve the little puzzle problem. So this would be what I would have done in a lecture class, but now broken up into video segments on the order of, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes per segment. So in an hour class, I might have 5 of these little video segments in this tutorial. The tutorial always ends with a question about what are you confused about. This page will show me what every single student in the class said about this tutorial. It allows you to get some sense of which students are doing the work and which are not. And so that's a lot of data, and that allows me to prepare for class in a much different way because I already know what the students are asking about.
Some of you asked in the learning modules, do these things actually exist? Because this is, after all, Dr. Kopp, a very artificial example. And it turns out, yes, people have actually managed to manufacture particles in a box.
I also usually put together a website for each of my courses.
I do have a website. It's got all of the readings. It's grouped according to each of the units. Each unit's got sub-pages, so the unit has got the readings on it. I have a reading guide on it. For each unit, it's maybe got 4 or 5 big questions. These are mini essay questions. You can answer these, you'll be doing fine. And I've also added a component of having the students keep a journal, and they keep this on Blackboard. And often there'll be a journal question before and one after. I've got a trail of their thoughts. So when they go into class, they're not just, I read it 2 minutes before and haven't thought about it, but I'm trying to keep their head in the subject a little bit all the time.